What is the worst present you have ever received? There was a period in my life where I was going through some difficult times. My boyfriend of the time just so happened to share these sensitive and personal issues with his family, without telling me, so one Christmas all of his family members gave me self-help books. One was How to Get a Job, the other was Knowing How Awesome I Am, and the last was a philosophy book about self-reflection. I thanked them, went to the guest room and cried. Felt embarrassed and was upset at my ex because even if his family had good intentions, the execution was awful. As if I am that pathetic I need to be given these books. He had no clue why I was upset since these books will help me. Yeah, that relationship didn't last much longer after that. An ex used to buy me the absolute ugliest jewelry I'd ever seen all the time. No matter how many times I told him some variation of, hey, I don't really care for jewelry beyond the costume type stuff I buy for myself and you don't have to get me anything. The absolute worst was these stingray earrings he got in Hawaii with some kind of gaudy blue jewels. What woman would ever be like, oh my, I can't wait to pop in my stingray earrings? Definitely not me. So not even remotely my style. It started to feel like he was purposely getting me weird/ugly things hoping I would start drama about it and he could play poor me. After breaking up with him I donated every piece of jewelry he got me. An ex-boyfriend once gave me a cobbled-together gift of camping accessories I knew he'd gotten for himself with a gift card from his dad and some random items from the grocery store. A pack of tea lights was part of it, all totaling maybe $20, none of which seemed intended for me at all. This was after we'd set a spending limit of $150 for each other and I'd knit him a pair of wool socks in his favorite colors and bought him a very expensive pair of ski goggles that he asked for, honestly breaking the spending limit. He didn't seem to note the vast inequity in our gifts for each other. I excused myself to the bathroom to cry. I can't imagine why I didn't break up with him earlier. I guess I was working some stuff out. Not really a present, but my mom does this weird thing where she will take something of mine and instead of admitting to it when I ask her she will say she doesn't know or some excuse and then some random thing will appear in its place, like it's a gift. Example, she took a drill tool that I was using when moving to put all the furniture together and whatnot. I asked her about it and she tried blaming it on my older brother that hadn't even been over. The next day she gave me some type of pliers, that were pretty much useless to me. How can women help with men's mental health issues? Here's some suggestions. 1. Recognize misandrous language and do not use it. Even better if you can steer your girlfriends away from it. Also, all men are trash, for example. 2. Show some support or advocate for male-specific causes, e.g., International Men's Day, Prostate Cancer Awareness, Movember, Male Domestic Violence Shelters, Fathers for Justice. A lot of these causes barely get any exposure because feminists hate anything that frames men as anything other than all-powerful oppressors. 3. If your partner is daft and opens up to you, never gossip about what he told you to your friends and never turn what he tells you around on him in a future argument as a weapon. Let the guy be vulnerable before you. Make him feel safe. Make him feel heard. Don't judge or change your perception if the vulnerability sounds dark or traumatic. I'm sorry for making this assumption about you, but I was vulnerable to a woman and while she said she was open, I felt judged because her behavior changed. The person will close off immediately if he senses this. If you're close to them, give a tight hug or hold their hand. You can't imagine how healing that gesture can be. Make sure you have tissues ready because you may have to wipe the tears. I hope this helps. We're humans with human feelings. We're socialized to repress most of our feelings and thoughts. We're socialized that showing weakness is the worst thing we can do. We go out and get a relationship. We think we're humans. This is stupid. I'm going to tell my girlfriend about this thing, and then the next time we have an argument it's used against us. We notice is less frequent and enthusiastic. We realize you're spending more time with your friends. We realize that it wasn't bullshit. We realize that our has to stay out. The next woman comes along and says I wish you'd open up, and we know that's a trap. We don't make that mistake again. Women could acknowledge men's issues. This weekend was International Men's Day and it didn't get any run at all. It could have been a real opportunity to acknowledge that men have unique issues. Prostate cancer affects 3 times as many people as breast cancer and gets less than 20% of the funding. Suicide affects men more than women and suicide really should be discussed. Just acknowledging men's issues and emphasizing men is valuable. Find the men in your life that you value and just tell them. The typical man hasn't had a compliment in years. We just don't attract the attention or expressed value like women and young people. How did you find out you were getting cheated on? 2 interesting ones from close friends. Friend's neighbor looked into her house from the 2nd floor and saw him. The nanny. They are currently in divorce proceedings, though he's still dating the nanny. The more interesting one is a friend was headed to Thanksgiving with her husband when she got a text from a woman saying, "Your husband has been." Me and several other women then gave a list of the women. She was aghast, not sure what to do. Then the woman sent pics as evidence. The woman was, as he had promised her he would spend Thanksgiving with her instead of his wife/my friend. My friend divorced him. He updated his Facebook status to in a relationship with, and it was another girl. Apparently they had been dating for 3 months already and he claimed our relationship was so boring he had just forgotten about me. I got home alone by my own boyfriend. I tried to message him, but he had blocked me. When I messaged his then GF to say I'm his GF, WTF is going on, she tried to fight me, saying that I had no business in their relationship, then posted on Facebook about how she had a stalker. When they broke up, she cited me acting crazy as one of the reasons. My ex is a dad now and he doesn't have a job. I don't know much about the girl, but I think she became an architect. Was working late until 1 a.m. and always called my ex on the way home because she would stay up to hear about my day. Asked her what she was doing and she said laying in bed, but I could hear people talking in the background. Believed her at first, but her house was literally on the same street I took home and her car wasn't out front, so I stopped by and texted I'm on the front porch and she should come out to say hi. Her mom happens to be awake and sees me on the porch, then comes out and says she told me she was with you. And quad. Turns out she was with my best friend that lived with me for 4 years but had recently moved out. It was after midnight on New Year's and we had just expressed how much we love each other. Then as the place was closing, some drunk guy started harassing her, so me and someone else got the guy away from her. I started talking down the drunk guy and say goodbye to some people as I'm looking for my girlfriend. 15 minutes later of not finding her, I go check her apartment just a few buildings away. Her door was locked and I could hear her having. Turns out it was with the other guy that pulled the drunk guy aside with me. Second time, some random dude from Arizona, I'm in Quebec, sent me nude pictures of my girlfriend on Messenger that even I hadn't seen before. How do you develop a thick skin? When someone is rubbing you the wrong way, 2 things could be considered. 1, they are out of balance, and that problem should stay on their side of the fence. 2, you are having a bad day, and don't take the appropriate measures to bring yourself to right. Very condensed, I know, but these are what I use to assess and disallow bad vibes for myself. I don't think it's something you have a lot of control over. When I was younger, I was really sweet, naive, innocent, introverted. I went through a lot of trauma after that and had to grow up fast and deal with a lot. I think that forced me to have a thicker skin and changed me a lot. Going through traumatic events in my younger years made me realize it's about me and only me. I am the only one that can take care of me and keep me safe. Sometimes I think my skin is much too thick. Oh, and I don't give a flying monkeys what others think of me. I realized a lot about myself in the end of middle school and beginning of high school, and I realized that who I am was okay with me, and that gave me a lot of confidence in life, except for things like presentations and talking to other human beings. A simple exercise to start with: every time someone does something that would elicit a negative reaction/confrontation, laugh instead. It makes you less reactive, realizing that none of this matter and it's not worth the emotional toll on you. It allows you to keep your power and not let others control you. It's a good habit to get into, it toughens you up in a positive way. Get to know yourself and put that forward. Stop negotiating with what you're comfortable with and what you want and live life for you. Make sure the things you tell yourself are positive and confidence building, and don't let others question yourself. Accept that not everyone will like you. The best way to do this is to remember that you don't like everyone either. Human beings are varied creatures. It's only natural that a few of them won't gel with your vibe. Try not to take it personally. This is harder for some than it is for others. Don't take things personally. It can take a while to do this, or at least learning to see things from different perspectives. Be kind, but don't take any nonsense. Value and love yourself and your rewarding relationships first. Lastly, not everyone has to like you or can like you. By realizing that not everyone's opinion about you matters, I had to grow thick skin early since I play a sport. Between coaches, opponents, teammates, salty parents of opponents, and casual fans talking to you like a dog, gotta just let it roll off of you. Glasses wearers have Reddit. What are some things that become impractical when wearing glasses, and how do you get around them? My eyesight is bad enough that I can't really function without them, and even small stuff like lying down can be annoying, or having to wear sunglasses. If you don't get an additional pair of prescription glasses, can't wear sunnies. Water getting on them is super annoying, since they'll smudge or have obscured vision. Wearing masks of any sort can fog them up. I also often have reduced peripheral vision, particularly when they start to fall off. No real workarounds for any of these, though there's stuff I hear you put on them to stop them fogging up. Just got to deal with it. Laying on your side on the couch to watch TV, solved by folding in one arm, and awkwardly balancing the glasses on your face, ignoring the arm in front of your eyes. Bike riding, because they may fall. Solution: a string. Bike riding when it is cold, the glasses get foggy if I use a nose and mouth cover. Solution: do not use a cover, or wipe the glasses with a special wipe. Using over-ear headphones. Solution: none. Some hurt, some don't. Taking a shower, sleeping sideways. Solution: stop wearing the glasses before the activity. The costs: my first prescription glasses were over $100 and I was poor. Now they run closer to $300. So I learned about online spots for glasses. Shout out to iBuyDirect and Zlul. I'm sure there are others that are good, but now I know I'll never buy glasses from my doctor's office again. I get the prescription and then just buy from one of these sites and can have 6 pair for what one would cost me at my eye doctor's office. It doesn't matter how hard you try or what cloth you use, you're never going to get them looking like that time you got them from the doctor. And thank for the innovations younger people won't know the struggle, but that puffy air thing they used to blast in your eye was maybe the most uncomfortable thing in the world, and get used to saying yes or no instead of moving your head. Seeing: I wear the glasses. Wearing PPE: I suffer through having my glasses arms mashed into my skull hard enough to wear a rut. Kissing: every kiss after the first increase the difficulty of the complex dance that says kissing a glasses wearer double points if you're both blind. Solution: take them off. Night driving: astigmatism isn't ever fully correct, and as a result any light source is a small nuclear bomb. You just suck it up. Honesty: keeping my glasses clean. You don't.